What is Snowflake Copilot and does it know Taylor Swift? Please join me in the latest episode of A State of Cloud Data Warehouses, where I will explore on what is Snowflake Copilot and how it can help you to get better answers about your data. So let's get this engine started. So what is Snowflake Copilot? Snowflake Copilot is an AI-powered SQL assistant that simplifies your data analysis by converting your English-based, natural-based questions into corresponding SQL queries. I mean that you ask in English and Copilot will move that query into an SQL query. Simple as that. And it can enhance your accuracy by fixing your SQL queries, and it can provide you more capabilities on exploring your data, because you don't need to know all the SQL syntaxes to get the correct answers. And it can also offer you corrections to your queries. Let's say that I have written an SQL which is not the best possible, but it works. Snowflake Copilot can fix that, so I will get a better answer. And all that is seamlessly integrated within the Snowflake ecosystem. You might be wondering that, okay, we have ChatGPT, we have OpenAI, we have a multitude of tools. What sets Snowflake Copilot apart from the competition? Well, the biggest reason is the integration to Snowflake. Copilot works within Snowsight. You just open a worksheet and you go into the bottom right corner and you ask Copilot, and you can ask about your data all within Snowsight. No jumping on into a separate window or separate tab or something like that. It works inside Snowsight. That's the biggest benefit. I started this video by asking that, does Snowflake Copilot know Taylor Swift? And the reason for that was that Snowflake Copilot is based on existing models. In this case, it's based on Mistral. Was it in Mistral AI's undisclosed model? Which means that Snowflake Copilot already knows all the stuff that OpenAI and the other tools know, but it has also an extensive knowledge from the text to SQL capabilities. So it's like a supercharged version of our LLM model, which is targeted to doing the best text to SQL answers. And behind that, it also still has the information about the real world, such as Taylor Swift. It might not give you the answers about Taylor Swift, but if you're kind enough, the base model behind the Copilot will answer for you. Trust me, I have seen that happen. The other one is that, as noted, it's made by Snowflake, so the text to SQL is really excellent. It has been modified to get the best answers for you when you ask about writing SQLs. And it's really accurate about your data because it's inside your Snowflake account, so it knows already the metadata that you have. It knows the data that you have inside Snowflake, so you get better answers using Copilot than the competition. I mean, copy and paste to OpenAI, ChatGPT-4, and where you ask the questions. Copilot knows what data do you have. ChatGPT-4 or 3.5 do not. As said, Copilot was just released, and it works only on few AWS-based accounts, and it works only with your metadata. So this version doesn't know what data do you have within those rows. And I think that that's going to be fixed in the future versions, but until that, we need to work with metadata only. So bear that in your mind while you're working with Copilot. And it requires access to existing data. And obviously, it needs data to work, but what I mean this is that it takes time for Copilot to index your data. So if you drop in a dataset, you cannot get answers about that dataset right away. You need to wait, let's say 3 to 4 hours until Copilot knows the new datasets. It works with limited dataset. We observed, like the Snowflake documentation says, the limitations that are in place. So we asked Snowflake Copilot to list all the tables within our schema. And we knew that we have something like 15 tables in that specific schema, but we only got 10. And until we realized that there's a hard limit of 10 tables in place, we were kind of baffled that why do you know about the rest of the 5 tables? But we ultimately went into the documentation and found out that, yeah, it's a limitation currently. And the limitation is also a pretty odd. Those 10 tables, those differ question by question, so it's not the top biggest tables, it's just 10 tables. Cross-database queries do not work. You cannot ask about data in this database and in this database at the same time. You can get around with that by creating a view that combines those, and that works. But if you create a view, you need to wait again some time to Copilot to actually know that this kind of view exists. But creating views overall is a method that is proposed by Copilot documentation, that you create a view that has a better naming about your columns, because that helps Copilot to answer your questions. Currently, Copilot is limited to English, and it can answer differently based on the session that you have. Even a warehouse plays a role within this, and this is mentioned in the Copilot documentation. But the first times when you play around with Copilot with your colleagues and you're all using the same data set, but your colleague gets a different kind of answer than you, it might be kind of mind-baffling that how this is even possible. But that's how LLMs work. They provide different kind of answers based on the day or even hour or how the moon is on the sky. Pricing, that's undisclosed yet. The pricing structure will probably be available after this month, because until the end of May, Copilot is free. But I think that once Summit comes, we will get the answers how much Copilot will cost. To wrap it up, one thing has been really clear with the Copilot and the other AI-based tools. You need to have a proper metadata about your data. That helps a lot with the AI-based tools. So please add information about your data. And if we are looking ahead into the future, I think that Copilot will have an excellent future, because to me, I see a Copilot as a way to help business people, the people who are not data engineers or who are not savvy with SQL, to get their answers about their data without the need of asking a business analyst or a data engineer that, can you provide me this and this data set? Because in the future, you can ask those questions by yourself. And it will make also the life of data engineers much easier, because you can ask questions, how should I do this query? How, let's say, how was this done in Snowflake? You don't need to go into the documentation. You can ask the questions using natural language. And that's going to be a game changer and fasten the whole process of creating data pipelines in the future. But that's the future. I think that in the Snowflake Summit we will hear more about how Copilot will work in the future. But until that, thanks for joining in. This was an episode of State of Cloud Data Warehouses, and your Copilot was Mika Heino. So until next time, see ya!